Osio, what's up, beautiful souls? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mamina. You can call me Mina for short, or Divine Starseed. This reading is centering in on your spiritual and psychic gifts. What's going on? What's enhancing? Why is it enhancing? Your ancestors are going to reveal that to us because I've channeled this reading for the messages to come through ancestry. Your ancestry is probably a huge part of what's increasing this gift, what could also be possibly blocking it, and a couple of other things. So we're going to dive into that. We have 3 decks to choose from here. Don't let the art on the back of the deck confuse you. You might feel like the art means it represents certain culture over another. Pick based on the stone that you're drawn to. If you happen to also be drawn to one of the decks because of the art, that's fine. You could be drawn to more than one. Understand that while they guided me to use these particular cards, and while these can have cultures that play in your family, whether it's known to you or not, it's more so about the messages that come through. Any other features, accents, or anything like that that I may pick up as a medium, I will mention that to you so that you can maybe research it and look further into it. But we're going to dive more so into what it is that they're trying to convey. The cards are just here to give you a visual of what I'm already seeing, hearing, and sensing. So without further ado, we're going to get ourselves grounded. I want you guys to close your eyes, sit up straight, take a deep breath, inhale for the count of 3. Hold it for the count of 3, and then slowly release it for the count of 3. You can pause the video right here. Do that a couple of times until you feel centered, you feel grounded. When you open your eyes, which one of these stones or tarot decks are calling to you the strongest? It can be all 3, but there's normally one that just nags, you know. So that could be the main part, and then the others can be like an additional chapter. So if you feel moved to watch all 3, that's perfectly fine. And without further ado, pile 1, we're gonna get into you. All right, pile 1, this is your message. Let's see what gifts you are tapping into. We're gonna start off with Journey to Divine Feminine by Divine Moon Empress. And we're also going to do the masculine edition just to see where the masculine and feminine energies are. This could be your energy as an individual, you know, within you, the yin and yang, or this can also represent your person or someone else important to you living that contributes to your gifts and what's happening around you right now. So let's start off with the feminine. Definitely picking up that this group is hearing and seeing things in a you're seeing them far stronger. So before you might have just seen like shadows out the corner of the eye, but now it's like you'll see things in your reflection or in people's reflection. You know, when you look at them, it's like you can see their face, but then their truth or another part of their spirit or energy. When you're looking in mirrors, you're probably seeing another figure or your own. You can sense vibrationally if, you know, whatever it is means harm, if it doesn't. Definitely hearing things more and sensing when people are coming. Like, say some of you might have always been able to do this, but it's very strong now. So say somebody's coming and about to ring your doorbell. You're like, I feel like someone's about to ring the doorbell in a couple of minutes, and then it happens. Or you'll say, you know, I feel like my mother or a sibling is at the door, and it's that exact one that you felt it was, but no one called you and told you they were coming over. So that might have been something you could do since childhood, but it's advancing now. They're heightening your senses in this area. We have look at that twin flame. Seeing them images in the mirror. So your gifts are expanding. Feminine energy is the creation energy, is the womb space. It tends to activate first, and then the masculine energy responds to it. So as a divine feminine, your spiritual awareness and even your body, because that means the body is also going through shifts and changes as well, it's preparing you for sacred union. Twin flame unions are mission-driven unions, whereas soulmate connections are path-driven unions. So this means that something you're working on, or that you might work on in the future, that you're preparing yourself for, it's massive. It would have a huge impact, not only on just your community, but, you know, these sacred unions have an effect on the world. and you tend to do things that put you in a position to have a lot of influence. It doesn't mean that you have to be like a rocket scientist per se. It doesn't even mean that a whole lot of people might know you, but it's just where you go and what you participate in. And you always hear people say a lot of individuals work behind the scenes, right? And they have key positions that contribute to society. This is a part of that. These unions can be that. So you don't have to necessarily become a politician or celebrity or anything of that kind, but you probably do something like Reiki healing or some other type of spiritual practice. Maybe it's even art, but whatever it is, it has a lot of vibrational influence, and your partner does something similar. It doesn't have to be the same exact thing that you do, but it has a similar effect on people. It draws them in, it awakens them. And so as you get yourself ready, because getting yourself ready is the main thing, self-love, working on you, focusing on you, as that starts to increase and you're helping people and your partner comes in, they have the same effect. And then when you come together, it's explosive, it's massive. And this is the power couple vibration. So whether you know your flame or not, because the key is not to obsess over it, honey, whether you know your flame or not, something is preparing your senses for them, and you could be picking up on them already. I'm sensing a lot of mirror work, and there are different types of mirror work. Sometimes a person is looking in a mirror and they're just focused on a certain vibration that they're feeling, and then they start to see it form. Mirrors have always been a part of portal. It's always been a part of insight. So a lot of insight is coming through for this group. Let's see what else we have here. You could be sensing their name, whether you know them or not. You're just constantly picking up on this other person. It's a very strong vibration. And they're doing the same. Masculines, as they activate, tend to be the go-getters when they activate. So dreams might be very intense right now, very realistic. A lot of symbolism and messages in them that they're sending. They're probably thinking of you, and then they call you and you're like, I had this dream about, and they go, wait a minute, I was just thinking that of you. So it's very powerful, very, very powerful. Let's see what else we have, Divine Feminine, for you. We have divine timing, Divine Feminine. Now is the time. Divine timing is at play. Divine timing happens at all times. It is not restricted to human concept. So what that means is right now in this moment, as you're watching this message, this is divine timing. What you do with it and where your vibration is as you receive different downloads, messages, and sensations, that's what matters. So this is how sometimes, the quote unquote opportunities can get missed, is that either a person vibrationally is not a match. So they either don't take note or don't even think about what it might be, opportunity land in your lap and you didn't even know that's what it was. Or you're afraid. Fear is the biggest thing that keeps, especially this connection, from taking place, is the overwhelming feeling that it can bring in. And contrary to what you were taught on a regular, as a spiritual mentor, I have to cover all bases. Not all divine flame connections go through separation. Some never experience it. They get together, they're together. However, there are still sometimes challenges that take place with them, because you're not only meeting a mirror, what are they reflecting back to you is the question, right? Are they reflecting back to you something that you never thought you would have? And so your own fears and doubts are getting in the way of accepting that love, accepting that affection, because you're triggered to when you didn't quite get it as a child, or didn't quite get it as, whatever your first love may have been. Belief systems. Do you believe in this connection? Are you battling yourself about it? You're in it, you're experiencing it, you're getting all of that love, all of that attention, but you're like, this can't be real because blah, 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 blah. Masculines go through this a lot, but do not believe that feminines don't have their own version of it. So what starts to happen is fear gets in the way. Now, I feel like more so with divine feminines, it's either that you weren't aware, and some of you are just on this journey, just figuring it out. There's a lot of information. Some isn't always accurate. However, there are no coincidences, and you have to pay attention to what you're feeling internally, because you might be led to something that's trying to, your own belief system could get in the way of you understanding what it meant. If you're led to something and it's guiding you towards, let's say, Hinduism, and you're like, I didn't grow up that way, then you're battling with it. It's more so about being open-minded, understanding that all things are connected, and that you're just being led to specific things that can help explain your personal situation. So don't look for all, I don't care if it's a couple that got together, their situation isn't your situation. You can take something from it if you're moved to, but keep in mind that your own personal experience within the connection might be very different. You might be feeling this like time, like there's something coming, there's something massive coming to me, and what is it? And it's this union, and it's the gifts that'll help you tap into that. So you could probably hear what your person's thinking, sense them, or feel them around in the space. It's kind of like, there's this movie, I believe it was Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock? I believe it was Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, where it was like the lighthouse or something like that, where they vacationed to a home, but they were actually, I think, like in a different time or something. They kept leaving letters to each other. At some point, they could like sense each other in the space. There was also another picture like that, but that's what I'm picking up on as I'm talking. Bottom of the deck is clarity. You will have clarity on what this is. Let's move it right on along and hop into the masculine energy. So don't stress yourself out about divine timing, but understand that it's happening right now. So certain decisions and actions that you make, choices, this is the year of the 6. This is the year of harmony and unions for many people. Ooh! And masculines are like, I'm thinking of my divine feminine. So if you've been having dreams, if you've been seeing like, I thought I saw a man or someone in my mirror or around in my space, I feel like I know them, like they're not harmful, they don't feel dead though. Masculine is like, I'm thinking of my sacred feminine. I'm thinking of my home, pulling you in. So the masculine is pulling your energy towards him right now, divine feminine. And you're probably, without realizing it, setting off a radar, a radar for it. Let's see what else we have from the masculines when it comes to this connection. Oh, commitment. Look at that. So if some of you are already, talking to or dating this person, then commitment is in the cards for you guys. They're probably clearing out a lot of karma. Ooh, I had a card slip out. They're probably clearing out a lot of karma in order to move towards you. So be mindful of that for some of you that keep sensing them, or you're maybe even talking to your person, not necessarily romantically, but you're taking your time. Things are going at a certain pace. Commitment is something that genuinely, should take its time, but I don't put a limit on when people may fall into commitments. That's up to how you're divinely guided. Your decisions are your own. We have knowledge at the bottom of the deck. Your person is tapping in. You're gaining clarity, and as they tap into you, they're gaining knowledge. And masculine energy will put their knowledge to practice, okay? Sometimes feminine energy is more of the meditative state, like let me feel it out, let me intuitively see where it's going, and then the next thing you know, by the time you're putting it into practice, they're already doing it. The magician learns from the high priestess. So you're that high priestess energy, they're that magician energy. They have to put into practice what they learned from you, even if you're teaching them and you're not quite aware that you're doing it. Let's hop into the tarot. Let's see what your ancestors have to say about the gifts that are taking place from this connection. Since this group, Pawan, your connection is mirroring your person, or they're mirroring you. A mirror isn't always exact, so you have to take it how it resonates. Let's see what your ancestors, thank you for your direction. We have, you can't make that up, the Lovers. Remember what I was also saying about choices? And notice how they're like having a good time. They don't care about anybody that's around them. This is important. I feel like some of you might have grown up in a restricted belief system or mentality, like a family with a very strict mentality. And so when you start feeling certain things, you may have not had anybody to go to have these conversations. Like I'm seeing spirits or this, that, and the third. Your family might have looked at you kind of weird, or even if they talked with you about it, maybe the way maybe they always try to make you think that everything you see and everything you experience is just like a negative thing. Sometimes people do that, and that's a fear base. It's up to you to really tap into your intuition and feel the vibration. Don't just go by look, because anything can come to you and look nice and look cute. Feel the vibration to know, and trust yourself to make the right decisions and learn from every experience that you have. But some of you might find that for a while your belief system was very codependent upon maybe family or some type of upbringing, cultural background, and you're being told you got to think outside the box, because the world, the energetic world and the world itself is far more vast, detailed, and connected than it's given credit for. So whether you're a part of a certain culture or not, you might be drawn to the spirituality of another, because either it plays into a past life, it plays into your current family tree and you just don't know it, or that's the spirituality that's calling to you itself. And nobody can dictate that to you, but you do want to be respectful and authentic with it when you do feel it. We have the Sun card. You're illuminating, love. And remember what I said about the union, the divine timing, and the divine masculine is pulling in his feminine. So you're feeling him more. Why? Because he's ready for commitment. He might be cleansing out a lot of karma. He's going through tapping into knowledge and figuring out what all of this is. Divine feminine, you're gaining clarity as you go through this experience, right? So telepathic connection is very intense right now. We have the Sun card. There's a courageousness that comes with the Sun card too. Not just because of the Leo energy, but just because, think about basking in the light and being who you are and not caring about how other people feel. Both of you are mirroring in this. So as you're coming together in this union as individuals, you're starting to stand powerful in your own, beliefs and practices, and not feeling like you have to bend toward because of judgment or go in a certain direction because this is what family did. And that's actually more in tune with your ancestry. Some of you are healing ancestral trauma, whatever that trauma may have been for your family in particular, because I know a lot of times people bring up ancestor trauma and it ties into just the culture. No, this is particularly to the family within the last 100 to 50 years. There were key events that took place, and some of your relatives have kept certain belief systems or practices that really were damaging to your ancestry and to your family line. And again, they could have been stern with you, like, oh, women dress a certain way, men talk a certain way, men don't cry, whatever it may have been. It's been crippling. And so I tell you guys all the time, it is not about carrying the torch of your ancestors' trauma. It is about healing it so that their spirits can heal and you can heal in the process. For some of you, this is soul DNA, and that's what I call it when it's something that's not only through your current blood, but it comes through your different lifetimes and your different whatever dimensions that you might have experienced. Remember, we're multidimensional beings. We experience more than just the earth realm, to be quite honest. So there's effects to all of that. There's different energies that we might be taking into ourselves, and then we're traveling it on down. But for sure, in the human DNA alone, and in your bloodline alone, you can carry the traumas of your culture or of a particular family trait. And that's what's cleansing out right now, and you're kind of the beacon for it. So you might have been the first in your family to do a lot of things, or you will be the first in your family to do a lot of things. And this applies, like, if you're watching and you're like, okay, this is mentioning partnership, the same thing. It's a mirroring effect here. You're just doing it in different ways. Okay, let's get one more card and move it along. The King of Cups. Yeah, definitely. Look how he's like looking over his shoulder. Like, what was that? That's some of y'all right now. What was that? I know I sent something over there. Like maybe I don't see it right away. I've always been able to kind of sense things, but there's something in particular over there. We have the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. New beginnings, new tangible prosperity is coming towards you guys as well, especially as you come into union. Your partner's probably mirroring this. So new job experience. Some of you are tapping into your spirituality because it will become a part of your work. The King of Cups, his psychic awareness is always on point. First of all, when he's in his highest energy, he's on point. He will sense and feel things in people's emotions and be able to tell how to maybe negotiate or communicate with them. This is a part of mastering emotions. When you master your own, when you're very in tune with yourself, it's not that hard to then be open and pay attention to other people's feelings and expressions. So not just through facial expressions, but when you look in people's eyes, some of you can look in the eye of a person and see stuff that you weren't prepared to see. Like I wasn't prepared to see your past, present, and future. First of all, but if they're thinking, let's say that they're talking aggressively, you might look in their eyes and flash back to the moment that made them aggressive. Your person could also be experiencing this. You might have not had it happen that way before. Before, maybe you would just get a sense or a sensation. These are gifts that are really going into overdrive. Some of you, it's the hearing. It's your hearing in particular. It's not just a thought anymore. It's like you'll hear something and maybe you'll have to ask a person, did y'all turn on the radio? Because I heard this song playing. What station was playing that? It's an oldie. Were you listening to oldies or something like that? And they'll go, no, nothing's on. This is just you. You know, your sense of hearing tapping into overdrive spiritually. And you're being told to, instead of getting, some of you might go into your logical mind and you've been trying to make excuses about it, and you came across this message probably not thinking that anybody was going to point that out, but it was. So now you're like kind of shooketh. That's okay. Your ancestors want you to communicate with them and channel these energies better, but just bear in mind that your ancestors, some of them go way back. So their cultural experience versus yours could be very different. Their belief system versus yours can be different. It's not saying that you need to necessarily, for example, maybe they practice the orishas and you don't, or you know what I mean? Wherever they're from, they'll bring that to the forefront. They'll bring that cultural, that spiritual experience to the forefront so that you can tap into them a bit more. It's listen to your instinct, listen to your intuition, tap in, use your discernment. Even with your ancestors, you use your discernment. I channeled this reading particularly for ancestors that have your highest good in mind. They're not coming at you with nothing negative. But I always recommend that when you're dealing with ancestors that you pay attention to their vibration and to what they're asking for or wanting you to offer, so that you understand what their pure intent really is. Not all ancestors are good ancestors. Some people don't warn you about that, but I give the warning around here. However, the ones I'm communicating with right now, they're letting you know that you have, this runs in your family, like these abilities are family oriented, and they want you to tap into that, and they may lead you to certain places, spaces, or spiritual beliefs that help to amplify it. So just stay open-minded. Okay, that's the key here, is to be open and understand that this is all a part of your family lineage. They might be talking to you a lot in dreams. You might hear drumming, because as I'm shuffling, those cards flash before me. You might hear drumming sometimes when they're channeling to you, or like a pulse in your head. If you meditate and you communicate with them more, for some of you where it gets overwhelming, that it might start like a bit of a headache, they can help you with that. It's just that you're not used to it, and so your body and your senses are trying to adjust. All right, we're gonna get into The World of Mystics by Maruk. We have Cocktail Magic. A celebration is in the air. Happy reunion with lovers or friends. Also, your ancestors. We have a rune here too. Your ancestors calling towards you, saying, hey, listen, you have magic in you and we're trying to activate it. And also the union that you're coming into is magical and activating you. You and your partner are activating each other. Notice that magic cocktail is right there with the Lovers card, right? Perfectly aligned with it, and is talking about a union. So it might be a reunion for some of you, but for others it's a union. You haven't had a connection like this before. You haven't met this person before. If you have met them, you weren't thinking that they were that, and now all of a sudden these sensations and feelings are coming in. We have offering. You have a lot to offer the world is the one that's standing out to me, so that's the one I'm going to read to you. You have a lot to offer the world, and your ancestors want you to communicate with them more. They're like, tap in with us, you know, tap on in, connect with us. They're going to pull you towards higher spiritual belief systems as well. Not necessarily a system, but beliefs, because again, spirituality is far more flexible than humans. than humans would like for it to be, because humans like to create borders and all that other type of stuff to keep people asleep. But your ancestors are waking you up. Some of you are completely new to this. A few of you are used to maybe not the gifts, but you're used to studying or researching certain things, and now you're experiencing it, and it might freak you out from time to time, but it's all good. They got you. We have deity, 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 however you wish to pronounce it. Many will be inspired by you. You will become a great leader because you're able to tap in and feel people out. You're able to sense things about them. And remember what I said about the difference between the unions, right? These are mission. So you might find yourself doing something that you're like, I'm really fulfilling my mission. Not just doing what I want in life, but I'm fulfilling a mission. And it'll be very, very important to you how you fulfill it. So bottom of the deck, ooh, we have runes. And I just pointed out a rune on the other card. And bone. Some of you might be bone readers as well. Embrace the unknown. Secrets will be revealed. Remember what we had about the clarity and the masculine, all that stuff coming into understanding and tapping into knowledge and whatnot. So that's very important. That's important. Some of you might be bone readers, rune readers. So you might have like Norse background. Could play a part in your lineage somewhere. Of course, we have cards here that represents the different, it's not just Africa alone. Some might be from Haiti. Some might be, these different cultures could all play a part in your family. Listen, y'all got to get over the illusion of skin tone, meaning that someone is either mixed or not mixed or whatever the case may be. Get over it, because some of you, like, that's what creates a block in you connecting to your ancestors. I'm sensing people from islands like Cuba, Puerto Rico. These are the ancestors that are helping you right now. So these are the ones that want your attention. And they're probably going to lead you to different deities. I am also picking up on, I mentioned Hindu earlier, and then we have Ganesh come out. So some of you might resonate with that as well. Moving the body is important for this group. Now let's tap into your gifts. Like let's put a description to what's going on with you. We pre-channeled some of your other gifts, but let's get into some of the other things that you're doing that are a part of your psychic awareness. You may not realize it is, but we have Crystal Child. You're here to help uplift the planet of harsh energy, bringing forth healing, peace, and also assist humanity in soul growth and evolution. So remember, you have a lot to offer the world. Remember. We have mind power. You're a higher level soul with a mission to create transformation in people's minds so their emotions can come into balance. What was I saying about that King of Cups? What was I saying about that King of Cups? Okay, illuminated one. We see you. As an illuminated being, I see you. I recognize. I see what's going on. Again, I feel like some of you have some type of Norse, Viking-like background. You probably practice Viking. You probably have a lot of Viking things in your house. You might have tattoos that represent like Odin and different things like that. That's also channeling for some of you here. You could be of Norse and another culture like African or some other background, and both ancestries are calling towards you. People forget that. People actually forget that these cultures were mixing, mingling, and talking way before people started making everybody battle with each other. So don't be shocked if that's in your lineage. For example, if you are a person of color, not every so-called quote-unquote European bloodline in your family is through rape. It has to be said, right? Sometimes it's the people, they fell in love, they're in the same space. Vikings used to go everywhere. They had their own places to accept trading, and different cultures would meet up and whatnot. So you can have far back in your ancestry these bloodlines, and that's the union it comes from. And there's power even in that union, because depending on the century it was and what else might have been going on in the world, it might have been a union that had to fight to be in its power to be able to take place in the first place, right? And so now you're kind of adopting that ability to stand by a certain love or stand by a certain gift and not worry about someone else's judgment or family's opinion or friends' opinion, and just be you and be with your person and let them be them. So this is another reason union can be so important for this connection. We're in the year of the 6, and for other cultures it's the year of the 9. I keep picking up on Ethiopia, and I believe in Ethiopia is just now turning into the year 2000. So there's a lot of powerful, like heightened electric energy that's taking place right now, and it's pulling people who need to activate and do their job, for lack of a better, term, to come together. So you're amongst that group. Many of you watching this, if this is the power you chose, you're amongst that group. So these gifts activating in you, the communicating with your ancestors, the tapping into the different aspects of your culture. Sometimes you're made to feel like you have to be mixed if you're drawn towards a certain spirituality or culture. And other times you're made to feel like you have to choose one over the other. This is not how spirituality works. This is not how ancestry works. Ancestry and spirituality do not create borders. People do. So if you're being moved to look into runes, Norse practices, maybe even different types of not everybody resonates with the term witchcraft, but that could be what you resonate with, you know, herbalist, whatever it is, there's a reason. But it's your job to make sure that you're utilizing your discernment and that you're meditating on your intuition so that you're not led astray anywhere, even within that which you've already been doing. Okay, last card we have: you can transform into someone that you are not to fit your agenda, making you extremely crafty in achieving your dreams and goals. Be sure to use your gift wisely. And we have manipulator. So you're able to manipulate energy. We're all energy manipulators, but some people are very in tune with recognizing what it is they need to change or shift. You have to be mindful with that kind of energy when it's activating you, because if you're not in a good vibration and you start doing things out of wicked reasons, there are consequences to that, my darling. And interestingly enough, we have detached at the bottom of the deck, and that's important because being able to not be attached to something having to be a certain way keeps you from being the kind of person that manipulates situations out of a negative, out of the intent of, I just want to be in a power play position, so I'm a, still cheat, do whatever to get there. Not all versions of manipulation work that way, but you want to make sure that you're mindful and you're not going in that direction. So being detached from a certain outcome, being detached from a certain belief system that might make you turn or go rogue, so to speak, is important. You're a deep thinker with a high level of emotional intelligence. We're going back to the King of Cups with that energy. Awareness and your vibration creates a ripple effect, which makes others more aware of their own emotions. So your ability to control emotion and thought is amplifying, meaning hearing other people's thoughts and therefore knowing how to communicate with them better. Your communication skills are growing. The King of Cups is perfect with communication because he's so sensitive psychically to other people's feelings. However, he's a master of his own emotion, so he's never in his heightened ability, he's not going to respond to someone else's anger or feeling. So this might be something you need to put in practice. If you're a person that's easy to anger, because these abilities are heightening in you, you're going to need to meditate and practice on not being so easily triggered. Okay, clear out those triggers, work on them, heal them. We have Gemini energy present, Leo energy present. I'm actually picking up on Scorpio and Cancer energy. Energetically, as you're increasing, it's important that you stay balanced, that you stay in harmony. Geminis can be fickle. The energy of the Gemini can be fickle. So you want to be mindful of that. Gemini could be in your chart, doesn't have to be. If you're a person that overly talks, you need to be more mindful in your talking so that you can hear other people and what it is that they have to say. The Leo energy that comes with the Sun card is luminescent, having that kind of courage that lets you stand out. You could already be somebody with a big personality. Maybe your person is. You could be opposites in the sense that one of you is like out there, like, hey, this is me, hey guys, what's going on? And the other's more like shy and a bit more, like I'm just gonna sit back here. And you're pretty much being told to allow yourself to come out of your box, and maybe your person is being told, hey, you don't have to be the center of attention all the time. So you're balancing each other out as you're both evolving. For those of you who are together, for those of you who come together, be mindful of that. One of you might be more outgoing than the other. The key here is for the other to get used to feeling comfortable with sometimes being in and not necessarily having to get all the attention in the space. And for the other person, it could be becoming more expressive and allowing yourself to shine in a space, balancing each other out. Okay, just pay attention to if you're getting a little conceited. Somebody here might be a bit conceited. You got to work on that. That's not helping you. It's cool to be confident, but don't let it turn into conceitedness. Conceitedness makes people go rogue. And remember, we have the energy of manipulator here. So you don't want that to go wonky. And then, of course, with the Cancer energy, being able to feel deep. I'm picking up on like a male Cancer vibration. Could be in someone's chart. But again, the zodiacs are cosmic energies. They're not limited to just people. There's more to it than what we're typically told. So the male Cancer energy fits a little bit more with the type of King of Cups that doesn't always reveal his feelings, but can be very sensitive at the same time. Like, can easily be triggered, but may not show that they're triggered. So be mindful of that in your connection or within yourself, be you feminine or not. And then I'm picking up on Scorpio vibration. Be mindful of not allowing yourself to overthink and become overwhelmed with emotions. It's important to recognize you have deep depth. In other words, I feel like some of you got to do a bit of shadow work here. Dive deeper into yourself and connect, but don't allow yourself to become so overly emotional to every little thing. Check your emotions. You should be able to check your emotions before anyone else has to. And if someone else does check your emotions for you, as not necessarily saying they got to be rude about it, but if they come to you and say, hey, you're overthinking this, or you're putting too much into it, then you need to see that as a sign to pause instead of an insult. Okay, let's tap on into what your ancestors want to say. When is it your inner summer's of importance? Summer just flashed before me. That's too many cards though, so we'll reshuffle. Something important taking place this summer. Could be another reason for that sun card. Something. Could be the connection. Your union could be coming in summer. We know Leo season is August in the States. Direction Guardian. Oop, and there's a lion on the card. There's, I can't tell if that's a buffalo or I think that's a buffalo. Could be a bull though. And there's also what looks like an eagle here. So we have Direction Guardian. Choose your path. They're helping you. They're giving you guidance. But you are ultimately the person that chooses how you wish to walk this path. They can guide you to it, but you choose how you walk it. You choose the direction that you go in it. They're just giving you, they're letting you know, I got you. I'm looking out for you. But you ultimately have to make the decision. So you can't put your decisions in no one else's hands. Right? We say that all the time in these readings. Shaolin Master. Remember what I said about moving the body? I believe I said move the body. Anyway, I thought it. Moving the body is of important. We have be graceful in movement and action. Okay. Some of these cultures on these cards can also be a part of your culture. Remember, you're not restricted to just what's on the cards. But if they resonate for a reason. Or perhaps you're being, maybe you did some Shaolin martial arts or training before. This is about balancing the yin and yang within yourself as well. And we have High Priestess. The masculine learns from the High Priestess. We have High Priestess. Harness mystic power. And that's regardless of which side you're on. You're both harnessing mystic power. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Dive deeper into the ancestors' messages. And then we're gonna call it, pal one. Psychic strength, shield, talisman, gold light. Look at that. And look, see, tattoos on the face again. Maybe some of you have gypsy background too. I just heard that gypsy background. Gypsies are actually connected to more cultures than they're given credit to. You might find yourself liking to research like Babylonian people or knowledge. You could have family. A lot of you have family from overseas. Maybe you're like second or third generation here. Your grandparents or great-grands probably came from overseas. So you might know a little bit more about your culture, but not a whole lot, but you know something. You have something to go on, in other words. But again, psychic abilities are enhancing. And the fact that it says psychic strength, and we also have the Leo card out here with the sun. It's like, come on now. Move that body. Embrace your inner gypsy. Wow. Wow. And the colors are standing out. The passion energy of red, the sacred energy of the orange. Yeah, these colors are really standing out. Wearing colorful clothes this year will amplify some of you guys' energy. We have freedom, fun, and music. And remember I mentioned music, like hearing it, hearing songs that, there's no radio playing, but you're hearing them as clear as day. Sometimes when you hear certain music, just move the body, just dance. Be in your own world. That's your ancestors dancing with you and opening you up to receive messages. And once again, we're back to like a Buddhist or some of you may resonate with Tibet. We're tapping into like a Buddhist or even a Shaolin type energy with teach and share. Remember what I said about mission driven. You find yourself in positions where you impact people, you and your person. We have instill, instruct, educate. Some of you might be teachers, or you were teachers. Or maybe you worked in like preschool settings. My darlings, that was your message, Pal 1. I pray that you receive some enlightenment from this and you have an understanding of what's going on with your gifts. I recommend meditation and breath work for this group. I always recommend breath work. Particularly in this case, I would say dragon's breath is important for you guys. Quick pace breathing and then calm. Quick pace then calm is important here. You can research what style of dragon breath resonates with you more. Definitely take care of your psychic awareness, protect yourself, make sure that you're putting, when you wake up in the morning, you're amplifying that protective psychic shield around yourself so you don't get any invaders or anyone that's trying to, manipulate your energy. Be mindful of the way that you manipulate energy. We all do it every day. As living beings, we're constantly affecting the energies around us, be it in a positive or negative. It's important to become consciously aware when that's a gift that's heightening in you so that you have more direction in what you're doing. Sit down with your ancestors, ask them what type of offerings it is that they want. Use your discernment and tap into your very, very powerful psychic abilities. Peace, love, and light, beautiful soul. Okay, Pal 2, welcome to your message. Your group feels more journey oriented. What I mean by that is I feel like some of you have already been on your soul journey and your purpose. You're already tapped into certain things. So you're very aware already that you're getting heightened. You just might want confirmation on what's happening. Maybe a couple of things kind of like come in and then a block pops up and you might want to know where the block is coming from. But this group feels like you've been on this journey for a minute. You've probably experienced like different spiritual practices. You could have been Muslim one second, Christian another minute, and Buddhist monk the next. And it's not bad. Like you're open-minded, and you've experienced different backgrounds and practices. And I feel like you're learning more of a sense of self realization. That's what you're tapping into right now, and you might have found a belief system. You're trying to break being boxed in a system, first of all. So I'm mindful of when I say the word system because I have to translate it and break it down, and sometimes that just takes up too much time. But I feel like you're open-minded, or you're becoming more open-minded. You're sensing and feeling things on an intense level, but you're not completely oblivious to it, if that makes sense. So this soul journey isn't completely new to you. You have dabbled in things before, and I feel like you appreciate each thing that you've been a part of because you've learned how it interconnects. And that's something that I feel like this pal might be very in tune with, or will become in tune with, the interconnection of things. How can we look at spirituality as one big book, which is what it is, and how can it affect the tapestry of people? So some of you might be Reiki healers. You might identify with light worker. Yeah, so let's tap into what's going on. We're going to use Journey to Divine Feminine and the Masculine Edition by Divine Moon Empress. We're going to see where the feminine energy is and the masculine energy. This can be the yin and yang within yourself. Yin and yang, however you wish to pronounce it. Different people pronounce it different ways. And we're tapping in. We have heartbreak. So some of you are healing right now from some type of heartbreak. This could be what was creating the block in your journey. Because like I said, don't feel like you guys are new to the journey. So you might have went through some type of heartbreak. Could be related to family, could be related to a person. And it's actually activating you more. However, you know, heartbreak creates the reaction of either fear or disconnection. I always tell you guys that there's a difference between detachment and disconnection. When you're detached from the world, you don't live by its every whim. You're able to see the grander picture. You're able to see both within and outside of yourself and appreciate the energies around you. When you are disconnected, you don't feel any connection to any particular thing, and it can make you feel lost. It can make you feel a bit, you know, whimsical in a negative sense, and you find it hard to relate to people, places, things, situations in any sense. So it's important to recognize the difference. Some of you in this group might have went through a slight depression not too long ago, but those triggers and those things that are taking place, it's responding to your energy, is trying to activate something in you. And you need to come out of just focusing on the pain so that you can focus on, what is this activating in me for real, for real? What is this helping me grow and expand on? Where's my lesson? Up! And the card that comes out is confidence. You see that? So you might have went through this hardship, but it's activating a stronger version of you. For some of you, this is more current. For others, I feel like you're more so in the process of working on that confidence already. But a lot of you need to. If you haven't already, you need to. Bottom of the deck is joy. That's a huge part of working on your confidence. You're always told that confidence has to come from this self-talk of, I'm a badass and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, you know, that's cool. You know, superwoman, be that. But you got to experience joy. Feminine energy is about joy and bliss. Masculine energy has its own interpretation of it, but we are the energy of the sensual dance, the enchantress. That's what we are, right? So if this would be you, woman or man, if this feeling is activating in you, how you express it is by allowing yourself to feel happy. So you might be the person creating the block that you've been so curious about, and maybe you just needed to hear that. Let's hop into the masculine energy now. See what's going on the masculine side as these gifts enhance what's happening. Oh, feeling complete. Loves unconditionally, unselfish, with no limits. Look at that. Masculine energy, the mirroring that's taking place. So vibrationally, whether, you know, this again can be the masculine and feminine energy within yourself, or this can also be you mirroring with a counterpart. You know, you're gaining confidence, and as you gain more confidence, that does help you to feel more complete within yourself. They're feeling more complete within themselves. That helps them to have more confidence. Both of you could be healing from different heartaches or heartbreaks. And again, this could all just be your energy. I'm healing from a heartbreak. I realize that I'm not supposed to be jaded by it, but instead tap further into my confidence. Maybe I was tolerating things that I wasn't meant to. And be honest with yourself about that. Because if you were tolerating things that you should have, you know what they were. Run down the list. I was tolerating this, da 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 da, and no longer do that. You know, don't be jaded. Don't become someone that's like all caught up on, I can't love because of blah blah blah. Don't do that. But you know where you went wrong, so now you know where you need to heal, and you know what you need to do different, and you find that you feel now more completed in yourself, and that opens the door for you to be more completed with a partner that's worthy of you. And if this is family oriented, the same thing. Your family is not restricted to just who's blood related to you. You have a soul family, right? You have soul tribe. So it's important to allow space there. And yes, just because somebody's your ancestor in the past, if they see that the current bloodline is wonky, you know, things ain't working right, then they will lead you to other people, maybe even others that are connected to your family somehow, you just don't know it, to help you evolve, to help you see we're still here for you, even if the current mother, father, brother, sister isn't. You know, your ancestors don't just abandon you just because your current family can't seem to get it together. And again, along with that heartbreak, you could be healing your ancestry at the same time. I always say that it's about healing your ancestry, not staying restricted. We have synchronicities, and the numbers are standing out to me. Monday, May 7th, and 4:44 is the time. That's standing out to me. May 7th is important for something. Masculines are noticing synchronicities, probably synchronicities of picking up on their divine feminine as well. So you have gifts coming in that activate the confidence within yourself and the confidence within others. Let's hop on into the tarot. Your psychic awareness of feeling out vibrations is amplifying. The gift of sight is amplifying. And touch. I feel like some of you can touch certain items or people, and you just instantly get a vibration from it. Your sense of touch is really, you sometimes feel that you, no, this is happening way more frequent than just sometimes. Yeah, you touch things and it's like either you see a flash of something, or you just all of a sudden have the knowledge of something that you didn't have before. Like, I've never heard of this thing before, but I touched this item and here's what I saw. And then a person's like, oh my God, that's what happened. Or, you know, these are some of the gifts that are heightening. You help others to feel complete as well. You help them feel like it's good to be me. You're somebody that would do really well with mentoring. There's like a mentor energy here, like motivational speaker or mentor. Here's what I went through. You don't, in other words, you're being trained to not live in your past, but I feel like you would be able to utilize some of the stories from your past to help others move forward. But the thing about motivational speakers, pay attention to how they evolve, like the genuine ones, like say Elisa Nichols. And if you look back at her older stuff, when she would talk about some of her struggles, there's a certain way it was talked about. You could kind of tell she's living through it, right? And now her life is in a complete different space. And over the years, you'll see that if you watch her work, you'll see that she got to this space where it's like, now when I talk about it, I'm not living in it. I'm not living through it or in it. I've completely evolved. And eventually you'll notice that some of them don't cover their past anymore like that. They'll tell you, oh, I was on food stamps back when I was younger. And then they move on to another section because they're that far removed out of that energy. So you might be someone that assists people like that in a mentor type of way. So I wouldn't be shocked if you're like some type of, I'm not getting teacher for some of you per se, but like, again, a Reiki healer or an advisor of some kind. You might be an advisor for your company, and you're able to get certain results because you feel things on a spiritual level and not just I went to college and I picked up a few traits, but like spiritually I can sense that this person's going to do X, Y, Z. So we should do ba, ba, ba. That's the vibration here. We have the Page of Wands. Get excited. Look at that fire. Look at that. That burst of energy coming out of the body right now. Some of you are really getting ignited. And again, touch matters. There's something about the sensation of touch and getting ignited by certain things, certain items, or you might shake a hand with a person and all of a sudden there's this like instant inspiration that they feel from you. Like, wow, there's like a shock. You know, like, what is that? They probably can't really describe it. They just know they want to be around you. So if you work in a company, you're the person that they're always asking to talk to. Where's such and such? They here today? Where they at? Because that energy that you provoke in people. You've been holding back on something due to the heartbreak, but it's time for you to have the confidence to move forward. You've been getting the synchronicities. The Page of Wands, this ancestor is channeling with this, is pretty much saying, tap into that youthful inspiration. Don't use the excuse that you don't know how, because they're assisting you. They want you to ignite. Look, if you're the gasoline, they're the match, and they just ignite already. Just go explosive. Stop holding back. Somebody's been holding back and they're like, stop doing that. You've been told multiple times how gifted you are, and you keep kind of like shying from it. Masculine or feminine, this is what's going on. Let's see what else your ancestors have to say. Yeah, you got to get out of your own way. They're not fighting. They look more like they played a really weird game of Twister. But I feel like this is different versions of yourself. And when you have conflicts within yourself, it manifests in certain situations and experiences, right? You got to get out of your own way. You can't keep, okay, I opened the door here, but I want to do this yet. Like always finding a way to put a block in front of yourself. And so by the time family, friends, or a stranger come and say anything, I feel like some of you wait for the excuse to not have to do certain stuff. Like you already feel kind of fearful about taking a certain action. And so then someone comes in and goes, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. Oh, well, that's all I needed to hear. Now I can't do it because they don't think it's a good idea. Yeah, I kind of felt that too. Stop that. Stop it. It's time to ignite. Tap into that confidence. You are a complete being. You're seeing the synchronicities. Allow yourself to get out of your own way. The challenge is helping you to grow and evolve. So instead of being fearful of it, instead of trying to just avoid it, go towards it. Some of you are already in the confidence energy. You might be creating blocks for yourself because sometimes your confidence leans a little bit too much into the negative sides of ego. You have to work on that. You have to work on what you're saying about yourself. You have to work on what you're saying about other people. Gossiping is it's okay when it's the friendly kind. I don't normally like to call it gossip when it's just friendly conversation of current happenings. But be mindful that you're not actually gossiping. Okay, that'll make sense to who it needs to make sense to. Let's get one more card from your ancestors. Page of Pentacles. You got a lot. Look, there's a lot that you're learning. There's a lot that you know, but there's more studying. There's more to study. There's more to learn about. Your ancestors are coming in and giving you the tools necessary to move in the direction that you need to go in. And speaking of which, the bottom of the deck is the Six of Swords. I said what I said. Moving in a new direction. I'm sensing, I want to say the word right. My brain's a little tired, so if I say it wrong, forgive me. I'm sensing Taoism techniques. So some of you might be of Asian descent, like China. I'm picking up on Mexican magic. So some of you might have ancestry from Mexico. This is whether you know it's in your bloodline or not. Some of you might have to, go through meditation. Your DNA is not restricted to human concepts. So when you tap into meditation with the focus of understanding your lineage, especially if you go near water, if you work with water to do this, you can tap into the stream of your line and you will see and feel and sense your ancestry, and they will guide you to what you need to. Even documents. There are so many people who've also found out who they are through documents that their family didn't know existed, but their ancestors led them right to it. They want to teach you, they want to teach you. You just got to come to them. You got to choose to learn. Let's get into the world of mystics, Oracle by Maruk. We have Master Witch. You will master your craft. Your success story. Oh my gosh, look at this. Now, some of you, I always point this out. Some of you don't resonate with the term witch for whatever reason, but this is about mastering a craft, right? As you're overcoming challenges and getting out of your own way, you're ignited, you're studying. Remember what we said about study, and then bam, you're mastering. What you're studying, you're mastering. Runes might be important for this group. Or things, divination, things with sacred symbols. She's got a skull in that picture, so working with bones might also be important. Some of you might be bone readers or charm readers. So, your gifts aren't limited to the tools. The tools are just a way to help you train your ability, and also a way for other people. Like, for example, as a spiritual mentor, as a spiritualist, I'm a psychic medium, a lot of different things. I do a lot of different things, but I use the oracles and the tarot to help you see, here's what I'm seeing. But you may not be able to just go, okay, Mina, let me go in your head and look around, right? That's not something I allow people access to. So the cards are a perfect in between. Here's a tool to help you understand what I'm seeing and trying to say, and then you're able to have a visual, and that helps you expand as well. So sometimes these are training tools for the person that's using them, a way to exercise and practice their gifts, and other times, or both, it can help another person see what hasn't been seen before. Divination was invented to help our ancestors reconnect to their already existing psychic ability from within. So all of your abilities and everything that you're capable of doing comes from within first. Tools are just helping you remember how to do it. Somebody needs to hear that, because maybe you're getting into practicing, again, divination, practicing. We have Book of Shadows. Keep your work a secret. The truth is being kept. So there's something, I feel like some of you might have a witchy background in your ancestry. There's a lot I could say about that, but this isn't a personal reading. And it might not be expressed. It's something your family probably, either they don't recall, or if ever they knew, they don't tell you about it. That's what they're keeping from you. You're having this, the gift of touch. You're touching things and seeing stuff, and your family might be like, girl or boy, I don't know how you doing that, but in reality, someone does. Someone in the family does know how and why you're doing it, but they don't want to say anything. Maybe because they don't agree with the practice that it's from. I'm not really be mindful of this though, because again, in ancestry, not all ancestors are good ones. The ones I channeled for these messages are here for the most positive reason, for your growth, for your health, and all that good jazz. But just be mindful, because typically when there's something being kept a secret, if it's not just that the family is shunning an ability, it's because somebody came along and did some foul stuff with it, right? Especially if you are, somebody here might be, and this isn't to be a trigger, but someone here might be adopted. So maybe your parents that adopted you or raised you didn't know about all that. And so for them, it freaks them out. Or if they knew a little bit about it, they thought it was too weird to tell you. And now you're tapping into these abilities and whatnot. But just be mindful that you're paying attention to what you're channeling, and that you're always putting protection on yourself, and that you're tapping into the intent that the ancestor has, and not just, oh, it's my ancestor, so I'm gonna just listen because it's my ancestor. What's the intent here? But I do feel like you might be in a book. There might be, back in the day they used to have those family books, and when people practice different spiritual beliefs, they would actually write in what that person was for that belief system. So some of you may have, if it's not a witchy background, it could be like shaman. You might have had a great grandmother or grandfather that was a shaman, and that's some of the secret. So you might have to research this on your own without telling certain people first, just to get a good vibe of it, so that you're not influenced by other people's opinion. You're able to feel it out yourself. That's what, take what resonates. What else do we have? And I just was talking about, putting protection around yourself. We have incense. Your hopes will be strengthened. Troubles and burdens are lightening up. That heartbreak is lightening up. But I also feel like, again, this is speaking to, smudge your home, burn some incense to clear out certain energies, open the windows. If you are in a space to open the windows, open the doors every now and then. Let things in the space that need to clear be cleansed out. You can make a ritual of that. It's important that you're not persuaded by negative energies from being in a heartbroken state. We have pendulum at the bottom of the deck. Try to find balance in your life is what's standing out. to me here. Trying to find balance is what's standing out on the pendulum card. Let's move on to the next deck. Now let's see how your abilities are affecting others around you. Ooh, sultry. Your serene presence makes you otherworldly, with the ability to feel physical sensation as they're very heightened, trapping those around you in rapture. Remember what I said about physical touch, like touching people, things. Please listen. Ooh, blue butterflies is a symbol for someone. Somebody might have a blue butterfly tattoo. I seen it as a tattoo, but maybe it's a piece of art that you have on your wall, but I see a butterfly tattoo. It's blue. It looks like a tattoo. It's sketched like it, but I feel like it's on skin. I see the texture of skin. So someone has a blue. It's a personal meaning, something personal to you. So you might want to look up blue butterflies meaning, but I just feel like for whoever the tattoo's for, it's something personal to you. Maybe it represents like a friend or some type of evolution you feel like you went through. You have the ability when you touch people and you see things about them to draw them in even more. Your person may have the same ability, but touch is important. A part of your psychic gift in this group, other than certain mental awareness, is physically being able to touch things and feel people out and feel situations out. And that's a very powerful gift to have, and it's definitely something that you want to hate on and make sure that you're in the best energy when utilizing, because that means that just like you can have a positive effect on someone, you can have a negative effect too, and vice versa. So mindfulness. We have royalty. You have royal qualities that command power and cause extreme reaction. You're either loved or hated, challenging them to become better. Look at that. And remember, some of the conflict going on in your life is, it's internal. So it manifests even quicker on the outside. Now you understand where some of that power comes from, right? Because you're already a very powerful magnetic being as it is. And so you're simply drawing out certain emotions and feelings from other people. There's mindfulness that needs to be here. Mindfulness within yourself and mindful of how you feel or talk about others. Because what you put out, if you put out something negative on a person that don't deserve it, especially, it will come back to you in folds, whether that person sent it back or not. So just, be mindful here. We have performer. You are meant to be on the spotlight and be successful doing it, with a natural ability to draw a crowd and influence others with your charms and talents. Didn't I mention something about y'all possibly reading charms? Is that what it said? All right, let's have the ancestors add on to this, and then we're gonna close group 2 out. Your abilities are possibly making you overheat. I understand. I'm feeling heat in my arm, in my left arm, like on the back of it. That makes sense, like the back of my left arm. It's not a heat that I'm used to, so it's channeling for this group. But yes, that is one of the things that can happen, especially when we have the ability to touch. We overheat easily, or we get like it's like you get hot and then you get like a under the skin chill. All right, what's the ancestors want to add to this? Ooh, shaman. We have the owl. A lot of hidden knowledge. You touch things and then you tend to know stuff that you didn't know before. Trust in higher forces. Somebody has shaman background in their family. Trust and thrive. Stag. Some of you are seeing a stag or a deer in your dreams. You might be seeing the male more, the stag, but it's like you're seeing them in another person. I feel like you have a relative that used to go hunting. and they may have one on their wall. You probably don't like it, but it's standing out for a reason. That could, that's a spirit. Those two animals are spirit animals that are trying to communicate with you right now. They're trying to give you some direction, some guidance. So pay attention to the energies. We have broken arrow. Embrace the energy of peace. Calm the fire of conflict within yourself. Tap more so into the ignited energy of expression, of passion, and allow yourself to be a student. A genuine teacher is an excellent student. Someone needed to hear that. And then lastly, we're going to get just a few more messages from the ancestors here. Ooh, I'm like overheating way too much now. Okay, Spirit, let's turn that down. Let's turn that heat down just a little bit. I think they understand. Some of you are you have strong fire placement, Sagittarius energy, Leo, Aries, Earth energy, Taurus, Capricorn. It doesn't have to be in your chart, but I'm feeling it. Respect your physical body. Detox, rejuvenate, relax. Relax, relax. Oh, do it. I don't know why that channel. That's for somebody. That song's for somebody. Reconnect with Mother Earth. Plant, garden, harvest. Again, someone's relative might have hunted. You didn't like it. That's cool. You didn't like the hunting. But there's certain animals that they might have had the heads of in their home. And spiritually, you're being drawn to those animals. They're your familiars. Someone here's from Hawaii, but your family might have moved there later. However, the land is spiritually connected to you. Something about Hawaii, even if your family moved there later, the land is calling to you. So go out in nature, go out in the land, go out to not just the beach, but go out into the nature. Back to basics. Simplify, reduce. Look at that. Those are the words that stood out to me for you guys. Some things just need to be simplified. I feel like you're coming from cold, deserty like places or vibrations. Some of you might live out like in Nevada, different places like that, and you're being called more towards the rich, green, vibrant lands and spaces, energetically and otherwise, to help heighten your gift. Remember, because you have the gift of touch, even touching a tree can reveal a lot to you. Can reveal a whole lot to you. So for those of you who feel connected to go to a certain region, even if it's out of state, go there, get your hand on a tree, get your hand on a rock, feel the vibrations, let your feet be on the ground. Channel what's trying to communicate with you. With protection, use your discernment and tap into your intuition. And pile 2, I pray that resonated for you. Peace, love, and light, beautiful souls. Hi, pile 3. What to do, baby? We are going to hop into your message now. This group has a very interesting vibe. I feel a lot of new beginnings for this group. Your psychic abilities are leading you to discover not only new things about yourself, but like new paths, a new journey. Some of you might be experienced on this soul journey. You're getting aligned. There's a lot of alignment taking place here. Some of you probably practice like Kundalini yoga or some type of yogi guru type of. I feel like a lot of you are gurus in the making. Yeah. Whether or not you've acknowledged that within yourself. We're going to be using Journey to Divine Feminine to start this off, and Masculine Edition by Divine Moon Empress to get where the feminine and masculine energies are within this current time as these gifts are activating. This can be the inner masculine and feminine of you, or it could be you and your person. There's a lot of intense desire for new beginnings here, that's for sure. You might resonate with one of the other groups. I'm not going to say which one. Let's see where the feminine energy is. Intuition. Intuition, heightening, on point, feeling, sensing, and knowing things before they happen. This is beyond just like, oh, I got a gut feeling. I don't like when people underestimate gut feeling, because truthfully that is a psychic ability, Virgo energy. The gut is it's a powerful brain of its own, and so when you get certain sensations in the gut about something, it is very important to take it seriously. But I feel like for some of you, these sensations pop up in other areas. I'm seeing like I don't know how many of you are aware of like the full chakra system. Most only go to the 7th, the crown energy, but there are actually levels above that. Some of you are already at that crown point. You get a lot of downloads to the crown, but now you're going into like the 8th and the 9th and the 10th level. You're going up that scale, and it's becoming more intense. So there's a lot of physical sensations to the body that are taking place. Meditation is very important to this group. I feel like a lot of you already do it, but you might need to do moving meditations. And also, there are movements that can help you to release traumas and blocks, or any type of like a physical kink that comes out of awakening your intuition more. But some of you might also have like physical traumas to move out of the body, like leg issues or back pains, and there are movements for this. Getting in tune and understanding more about, I have videos that focus on like life force energy and different techniques like that, and those, that content may help you as well. But looking into your overall system from an energetic perspective and what movements help to clear that energy will actually help you with some of the physical ailments that you've been feeling. Now, of course, spiritual mentor or not, legally can't give you medical advice or legal advice. You got to go to the quote unquote professionals about that. But as a spiritual worker and healer, tapping into those other methods are also important. So it's not telling you not to go to your doctor, and not, if you're intuitively led, not to do something that they're recommending, but you can incorporate these things with it. So for those of you who already do some form of yoga, like if you do Kundalini, perhaps it's time to level up to something that's a little bit more physically challenging, especially with like the leg area, with your legs and your lower back. Posture workouts are important. Stand against a wall. First of all, see if you have a wall with a flat surface. Some homes, the walls are kind of funny. And work on putting your back to the wall and feeling, flattening your spine against it and feeling your spine aligning. And then as you do that, picture your chakra system is also aligning up in the body. These are just some of the things channeling in for you to do. Of course, always medically make sure that you're capable. It's about progress, not breaking. You push for progress. You don't push to break, okay? You'll intuitively know what to do. Your intuition is heightening. You're starting to get an inner glow about you. Woo! Divine feminines, divine masculine, sacred masculine. Feminine recognizes pretty much her man and the connection. You're going to resonate with another group. I'm not going to tell y'all which one. Use your intuition to find them. But you will resonate with another group here. So divine feminines, you are picking up on the energy of your masculine. That's another reason that maybe you need to become more physical. Masculine energy is very physical. And masculines are having a mirror effect with this. They're probably wanting to go within more. So if you have a masculine counterpart that's normally very fit, or even if, you don't have to look like that. Okay, he can be fit in the sense that he's healthy. He moves around. He likes to dance. He likes to do stuff with his body. Then you, who might have been more so into subtle movements, find yourself wanting to do more dramatic physical movements. Some of you are already in a relationship with your person. You might work out together. They're wanting to go within more in their practices. And working out is good and all, but workouts that also help with spiritual development are important for this group, with you having such a strong intuitive nature heightening. It'll help you to stay balanced and not be overwhelmed by the psychic awareness, okay? For others, where you're not with your person, you're sensing them, you're feeling them, you're seeing them. You could be seeing them in different reflections, like you're fixing your hair in the car and you could have swore that you saw a dude. You know, or if you're a guy, you could have swore that you saw, like, whomever your divine counterpart is. Like, I could have swore I just seen another person. They look familiar to me, but I don't think I know them. I'm hearing, I knew I loved you before I met you. I think I dreamed you into life. Like, that's the vibe. You know what I mean? It's like, I swear I know that face from somewhere, and it might be from dreams or things like that. So some of you aren't even freaking out. You know it's trippy. And when you tell people, of course, it's like, what? But you're not freaked out. You're like, for whatever reason, it feels perfectly normal to me. Somebody's like funny with it too. Like, it just feels normal to me. They'll show up whenever they show up. It's giving me notebook vibes without the losing memory part. It's more like gaining memory, like remembering a soul that you're connected to. You know, the masculine energy is rising in you and it's rising in your person. Let's get the masculine energy. Speaking of the masculine, let's get their energy out here. Oop. Okay, you know what? Let me pull the next card while I'm already at it. Let's speed this along. Yes. Remember what I said about the masculine energy being more physical, right? They're pushing through some hardships. I feel like there's a masculine that works out to vent. And that was helping for a minute. I think he might have, I'm trying to see what it is he's doing. I'm seeing a silhouette instead of the actual figure. It looks like he could be practicing a mixture between boxing and Muay Thai. Those are Muay Thai movements that I'm seeing right now. But then I'm also seeing like quick jabs in the air. So either they do some form of mixed martial arts or they're a boxer and they do Muay Thai on the side. But that's standing out. They could also be of Thai descent or come from a family of boxers. But they do physical movement to push through hardships. Like, that's how they get motivated. That's how they rev up. However, while that was helping physical, physique and helping them to have the body be more aligned, it wasn't helping with the inner work as much as it should have. So now they're tapping more into, wait for it, because I literally was talking about this, spirituality. More about stillness, more about feeling the soul sensation and not just the physical sensation. So you're picking up on their, hardship, movement, getting movement, martial arts, dance, do something that moves the body. You're picking up on that and it's making you be more physical. So if you were doing spirituality that was more meditative, movements that were more subtle, intense but subtle, you're now feeling like you should do more leg work, more lower back. You know what I mean? And for them, they're feeling like they need to become more aligned and go within their mind, settle their body. Okay, so tap into their soul body, not just their physical body. You guys are, and for some of you, this is what you're going through as an individual. Intuition, tapping more so into the masculine side of your energy, the action-oriented side. And that's helping you to push through a hardship and enlightenment in your spirituality. This is whether it be you masculine or feminine. And for others, your counterpart and you are mirroring. And remember, mirrors aren't always exact, but they still transition well if you know what to look for. All right, let's hop into the tarot. I feel like a lot of y'all are gaining you're gaining a lot of clarity. A lot of clarity. The masculine energy is having a lot of like revelations about things. The more that they tap into their spiritual form, the divine feminine is flowing more. You're more in this like flowing like the wind, like the breeze. It's so freeing. It's so relaxed, like shoulders rolling back and just feeling completely at peace with your environment and who you are. It's just getting that physical body to move as much as you feel flow feminine. And also I feel that the feminine energy is becoming more telepathic. So again, you could be seeing, feeling, and hearing your person. Many of you are. Listen, if you were saying to yourself, I feel like I'm resonating with another group. There was a reason. Listen to your intuition. Let's get into the tarot and find out what it is your ancestors are giving you signs of as you activate. I'm hearing that lady that was on the Family Feud. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate. Ooh, the Sun card. Ooh. I'm trying to bite my tongue so much. I'm telling you, if you were led to check out any of the other, just do it. Don't question. Just do it. Here's the Sun card. Look at the celebration that's happening right now. They look like they're about to do round dance. For those of you of my culture, you know what round dance is. That's what they look like. That's what I'm seeing. I'm not just going by the image. I'm going by what I'm seeing in my mind's eye, and I'm seeing them join in the circle, and they're getting ready to do the round dance. You are coming full circle. You're illuminating, and you're coming full circle. So a lot of what you're being led to is helping you to complete a cycle, right? So that new thing to begin. It's giving me world card energy, like, oh, I completed one task and now I move so effortlessly into the next phase. And that next phase has so much happiness and joy in it. Remember what I said in the beginning about new beginnings? So the hardships, out of here. All they've done is made you stronger and made you more enlightened. And now that you're tapping into that more action-oriented energy, I see people shooting off like a rocket. I see a circle of soul family and soul tribe. Somebody's emotional about this because you were already picking up on it. This like strangers coming into your life and gathering around you and supporting you and helping you to bring things into full circle. You felt like you did a lot of things on your own. And there's a masculine energy who felt that a lot. He felt like he did a lot of stuff on his own. It kind of made him a bit hard, like, I'm not going to let too many people in or too many people assist me. But now things are changing. I feel eyes like getting watery, like someone wants to cry, because not only is this confirming things, but it's like you put in a lot of work. You still are. You've put in a lot of work. And to hear that the success that you keep feeling is coming in, it really honestly is here. It's just a matter of you acknowledging it. Acknowledge it and then work from it. And when something tries to discourage you or get you down, remember, somebody who's had health issues, I'm sending you tremendous healing, because some of you dealt with a lot of crazy health issues, and you've healed to, maybe physically, but spiritually there's still a lot, or mentally there's still a lot going on. Sending you tremendous healing. But yeah, there's physical things that you can do to assist you with this. As I'm talking, I'm being led to continuously shuffle and see what else we have. Look at that. The Ace of Wands, the Ace of Fire. Opportunities. You've been feeling it. Like, you've been feeling that there were opportunities coming in, that there's a soul tribe gathering around you. You've done so many things on your own, but you don't want to not listen to your guides and your intuition, and your ancestors are saying, we've always been here. We've always been around you and connected with you. And we are sending you people who will understand you and trust you and give you guidance. We're sending you to those spiritual mentors so that you can become, again, I feel like this group has the ability to become gurus yourself. That takes a minute to get used to. I can relate. When people start calling you a guru, you go, wait, pause. Pause. What? But you have to accept it, because it's an honor. And it's something that allows you to understand that the things that you're moved to do, and the people that you've helped, and the people who are now coming in to help you, that it's not all in vain, number one. And number two, that it's you taking a moment to recognize that you have the ability to see greatness in others. Being a yogi, being a guru, these are the popular terms, and it comes from, specific cultures. But truthfully, these type of leaders are in every culture, of every background. The more ancient the culture is, the more you will find these type of masters and ascendant masters. And we come back, we leave, we come back, we assist where we can. And it's not a journey that we always want to do right away. You know, even if we like helping people, we're not always wanting to be in that position. It comes with so much. And we're not always sure that we have the capacity. But once we start to accept it, and once we start seeing the results of it, how you help people, then you know, okay, I get it now. I get why I came back. Sometimes I still question. So if you still question, that's fine. You know, but you start to realize the effect that you have on healing people and expanding people to higher levels of consciousness. And it's a beautiful thing that we should never take for granted and always feel appreciative of. And understand that just because you're being told that's the path that you're on, those type of positions are people that help you to see it within yourself. They have learned a certain level of self-mastery, and they're still learning, and they learn from every student, every person that comes in our lives. But at the same time, we also help others to step into their own power. So it's never about control. It's never about making someone feel obligated. It's simply guidance. And those who you're meant to guide will gather around you. You know, the teacher and student are led to each other in harmony. And this is something that, you know, you might end up being a spiritual guide in a sense for your person and them for you, because you've both been through so much. You understand. So opportunities are coming in for great blessings. Something that y'all have been putting a lot of work on. I'm hearing retreats, not like retreat as in run, but like a camp, like making a camp for people. You know, where like-minded souls can gather. But I'm not seeing like-minded souls in the sense that they have to be of a particular background, religion, or type. Anyone who fits the vibration of higher consciousness, enlightenment, whatever their background, whatever practice, as long as it's aligned with the overall message and in harmony that you're trying to bring, those are the people that you will invite into your space to link up with others and to help teach others. I'm getting like a Wayne Dyer. Is that how you say his last name? Dyer, I believe. I'm getting like his vibe. Someone may resonate with his teachings. Yeah, someone wants to make like a retreat. Start off small. An opportunity is coming to bring it into fruition, but instead of you thinking of, oh, let me just go buy land right now, start off small. Maybe choose like you know how they have the I don't want to say cabin per se, but you can choose a location. Some of you live out in the desert areas, like maybe Arizona, parts of California. They have these like outdoor home things. It's very in tune with nature, but of course you have shelter at the same time. Some of you are in other countries. You might be in Bali. I resonate with Bali so much. You might be from Bali. There are different places you can go to where the homes are in nature, like you can still experience it, and the land is, you can bless it and make it sacred, and you can have your practice, you can rent that space out and have your practice that way, build it up. And then as the finances come in for it, as it, you know, you eventually you build up to that land that you want to buy. Visualize all of it now. Don't be attached to it coming in a certain way, but start to work on manifesting it, because the opportunities are coming in and you want to be prepared to seize them. And there is a gathering coming around you. Your ancestors are like, we're here, but we're also bringing people into your physical world that can assist with this. So don't let hardships or discouragement distract you from your mission, is what I'm hearing. Your psychic awareness is you're able to intuitively know where to go, what to do. I'm picking up on my dear Guru Jagat, and I'm remembering how she said Yogi Bhajan came to her and told her what she needed to do to make Rama Institute. That's what some of you are experiencing. You're experiencing, you know, your ancestors coming to you and saying, it's going to cost you this much financially, so you're going to need to do this in order to save up for that. And they're giving you the play-by-play. You just have to be open to receive it. One more card, Spirit. One more time. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, new beginnings. Shedding the old skin, new beginnings. I told you, I keep getting like a world card kind of vibe. It's time. Bottom of the deck, 6 of chalice, 6 of cups. You know, there's someone's coming into your space. It's like a soul reuniting with you, and they're gonna help you. This can be your person. This could be, your person and a group of other people. But even the stone that you choose fits your reading. Look at how shiny and sparkly that is, right? Like the gold stone is like another representation of what's taking place with you. Okay. Got just a few more decks to get through. So let's try to speed it up. I'm going to get into the world of mystics. I'm loving this new beginning, this hatching. I'm literally seeing it like, I know they put a snake there and there's the shedding of the old skin and blazing a new path and all that jazz, but I'm seeing like an egg hatch. Like ideas are hatching as you seize opportunities. The moment of bringing it all into fruition starts to hatch. And this is making someone very emotional. I keep hearing, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I knew this. Thank you. I needed that confirmation. Thank you. That's what I keep hearing. Let's tap into what your ancestors want you to know from the world of mystics. Ooh! Okay, let's just get them all out then. All right. Okay. We have don't entertain, cut through the bullshit. Don't entertain people trying to get in the way of this path. Naysayers, whatever you want to label them as. Don't entertain them. Don't even engage. Don't even engage. Your intuition knows when someone's lying to you. You know when somebody's bullshitting you. Be mindful for some of you because you don't want to mistake intuition for opinion. Opinion can come from different experiences you have, and they're not going to always apply to other things. So make sure that you're tapping into intuition and that you're tapping into the centering energy source of who you are, your guides, your ancestors, mainly your own self, your own higher intuitive self, before you respond or have a reaction to certain things. But when you know someone's just putting you down, someone's just, being cut through that and keep it moving. Don't entertain it. It doesn't need somebody need to hear that. It doesn't need your entertainment. And you've been hearing this for a hot minute. Now I'm telling you. How many other avenues do you need to hear it from, right? Then we have ask tarot for guidance. Be present. The future is not yet here. And it's funny because you're watching a tarot reading right now by a medium that simply utilizes the tarot to help you see what I'm already seeing is taking place for you. So you're kind of like already doing it. And I want you to notice something. Remember how I kept saying the world card? It looks like, it's a little blurry, but this card right here with the reef looks like the world card in the image. A whole new world is opening up to you. You're coming full circle. You're coming more into your power. New beginnings are starting here. And some of you might do tarot. Some of you might have started to wean off of that and you're going in a different direction now. You don't need to be so attached to how it unfolds. Trust that your future is divine, because it is. But don't be attached to it having to happen the exact ways you wanted it. Somebody wants to build something really big and your mind is like, think big, do it big, or go home. And sometimes you just need to start somewhere. So like I said, if you want to do a retreat, start with something small, right? Who can you invite? Maybe through Zoom. It's, in fact, some of you, I'm loving your energy so much, even I would participate in something that you're setting up. Start small. Reach out to people. Would you mind participating in this? Here's, lay out make up your plan, make up your document, because you want your legal stuff to be right, and then reach out to different content creators that you feel resonate with your message. If you have a podcast and you want them to guest star on your podcast, you just got to make sure that you come towards them correct, but you start small and then you build yourself up from there, and it'll happen. But you got to be in the right mentality and space for it. So don't overwhelm yourself with that whole I gotta go big or go home, that you end up not seizing the opportunities before you because you wanted to be able to buy that land outright. You wanted to just pop up on a known radio station. Sometimes it's best to start small and expand. Okay, and look at that. We have beginner witch. It's okay to make mistakes. You're about to start a new chapter. If that doesn't align with everything I just said, and notice that she kind of looks like the girl from Harry Potter. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Don't be afraid of some of the hardships or things that got in the way before. It's all clearing up. It's all good. Baby boo, it's all good. You got this. Let's see how your gifts are affecting other people. How are you? Woo, that flipped right out. Knowing you have the ability to connect on a deeper level with people and talk in ways they feel heard. Being able to penetrate their veil often leaves people feeling vulnerable. And I feel like you're good at helping them to heal during that vulnerability as well. Remember what we said about that tribe gathering around you. Somebody wants to make a space of gathering where they can bring like-minded people together to come for healing, to come teach others, to expand. Like a camp, you know. Guru Jagat has Camp Grace. I believe it's her team runs it now, but she had a goal, she had a vision for that, you know, and different people come out and speak at it. It's a similar vibe. Master Shri Akashna has Creative Circle, like Sadhguru with his Save Soil mission right now. He's gathering a lot of different people to speak on saving soil. They're in influential positions, and he wants them to utilize their talents and their gifts to help save the entire world, pretty much. You know, so this is like a similar mission for you, but you're doing it in your own way. Could be through podcasts, could be through art, could be through a retreat. Whatever it is, you're amplifying your abilities right now, and you have that sensitivity, that intuition to just know, this is making someone emotional. You have the ability to look at someone or hear someone, even like a person like myself, and go, they're perfect for and then you can call them up and say, I would like you to speak at this event or do this, and they'll be perfect for it. They'll be perfect for it. You just got to trust yourself. You still sometimes, you've seen results, but you still sometimes go, I don't know. Remember what I said, divine feminine, you're entering a flow state. You just need to be more physical in it, right? Get more movement in that flow state. Masculines are reaching a moment of clarity. Feminine, you're tapping in with telepathy, communicating through thoughts. You're hearing them clearly. Sometimes your ancestors are giving you advice that way. And masculines are going through this light bulb on, I've just had a revelation. You know what I mean? So whether this represents the two energies within yourself or you and your person, it's happening, is the point. It's taking place. You're not being led astray, darling. You just got to trust and believe in yourself more. We have uninhibited. You are, wow. I just seen somebody sitting in a meditative position, and it looks like this beautiful golden light was just engulfing them. Like it just came from under them and wrapped completely around them and completely around their space. Wow. Once again, you have a tantalizing energy. You have a tantalizing form in your energy, and it's helping you to help others release sexual fears, be more authentic in their sexual expression. So some of you, maybe you want to do this retreat or this work because you're trying to help people heal from some type of sexual trauma. It doesn't mean that they necessarily went through an attack per se. Sometimes the trauma comes from belief systems. You're being told that a woman only lays on her back and take it. A guy only does, you know what I'm saying? That can create a belief system that creates trauma in the body. And remember what I said about needing to work on like the legs and the lower back? That could be why. Because our sexual energy is a huge part of how we not only connect to, because it's a sacred thing. It's just, unfortunately, people don't remember that. It helps us to not only connect to the outer worlds and the other realms, but it helps us to feel grounded in our physical being as well. Because true orgasmic energy can be felt both within and without the body. So around you and within you. And you might be someone that wants to help people with that, masculine or feminine. Perhaps in another life you were a high priestess of the sexual arts. That might resonate with you. Some don't know what that means and misinterpret it. But for those of you who know what it means, you understand that it's for you. Your person is probably having the same effect because they're going from being so physical to now being more spiritual. We have chameleon being... There's an inside joke here. So if somebody I know watches this, We have chameleon. Being a chameleon allows you to be able to merge with different kinds of people, develop various aspects of yourself. Just be careful not to lose the real you. And we have a snake here, and this chameleon person has makeup on that looks more like a snake, right? So shedding the old skin, becoming the new you, is also because you're able to connect to so many people. You're able to resonate with so many different groups. Again, you probably practice like a lot of different spiritual beliefs, and you see where they all interconnect. Let's get a word from your ancestors, and then we're gonna wrap it up, my loves. These last two decks. What do your ancestors want to say to you? Summertime, bask in joy and light. Bask in the joy and light. Let yourself feel happiness right now. Feel that circle gathering around you. Oracle, wait for important information. I also feel like she's making an offering of some kind as well. Again, you may resonate with another group. I'm biting my tongue, but I'm just saying. The red cloth here, I feel like someone comes from a practice where covering the head in a red cloth is of significance. There's a significance to it that just is standing out. And also snakes symbolizing transformation. Someone practiced Kundalini yoga. Too many Kundalini references have come out here, and we have 3 images that look like a snake. You could be the year of the snake. You could also be the year of the dragon, my fellow year of the dragons. What's up? Boop, boop. Yes, dragons and snakes are 2 different things. However, you may resonate with a dragon or a snake. You could be of the year of the dragon or snake. Something, you work a lot with transformative energy. You yourself are an oracle. You're the oracle, and you're tapping into that ability. So I feel like you probably do offerings and different divinations to assist you with this. You're learning how to do it more on your own as well. And look, woo, we're back again. This group, I'm telling you. Sun, enjoy success and happiness. Sun. Wow. Star ancestry at the bottom of the deck. See, this is why we vibing with each other. We have star ancestry. Follow the voice of your soul. So if you resonate with, most of us from ancient civilizations and cultures, we've always talked about being from the stars. So some of you might resonate with that. And there may be specific groups, and some of you resonate with groups who they don't talk about a lot. They don't know the names of. Yeah. This is a powerful group right here. You might communicate with beings from other worlds, and not just spirit guides and stuff, but beings of other worlds who are alive just like you are, who are sending a transmission in. Ooh, I'll hold to that one. We got that bonfire magic. Yes. Awaken your inner shaman. Connect, invoke, heal. Somebody here, you're healing yourself, but you love the ability to heal others. You want to be in a position where you can, as you heal, you help others heal. You help others to discover who they are. Embrace your inner gypsy. Freedom, fun, magic. Ooh. The 3s. Things are coming in 3s and 4s for y'all. Things are coming in 3s and 4s. We have noticed the signs, the 3s and the 4s. Wow. Notice the signs, symbols, nature, spirit. Wow. 3. Look at that. Somebody might live near like an earth portal or a crop circle of some kind. Work, career, and crossroads at the bottom of the deck. Notice how everybody's sitting around the tree like having a meeting, like they're at a retreat. Can't make it up, my loves. Like you It's too perfect. It's too aligned. It's too perfect. All right, darlings. That, my beautiful souls, was your message. I pray that that resonated and gave you the clarity that you need. You are a sparkling joy of sunlight. You're here to do magnificent things. I look forward to seeing all that you contribute to the world. You're a beautiful, beautiful soul. Peace, love, and light.
Get your copy of Love Confession Cyber Edition. Link in bio.